welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I hope you enjoy it. This channel is really a basis of me speaking what's going through my mind, the thoughts of the day. If you check out my other videos, it'll be like my life story, things I've done in my youth. So I'm I'm open to a lot of things that excuse me for a minute. Yeah, I could have edited that out, but as I say, I just go with the flow. So what I want to talk about just now is money. Seems that money is the thing that a lot of people say makes the world go round. It's what you've been told from a very young age, that you have to go out in the world, you have to get educated, and then you have to get a job and make money, somehow live on the money you earn, pay the council for the work it does, pay for the NHS for the stuff that they do, pay for gardeners, pay for your rubbish to be taken away, and then above all that, pay for food that you need, clothes on your back, toys for the kids. It's just money, money, money. Then if you've got anything left, put money away for your future so you could live off something that may see you to the day you die, instead of relying on the council giving you money that you paid for, that you paid them all your life with. So it's a really controlling thing. It's what drives people to the brinks of despair. It's what could end up putting somebody in a big house or putting somebody to live on the streets. It could be somebody, that had everything, that loses everything. I remember seeing a video one time, and it was about a guy who had everything going for him. Everything. He had a big house, flashy cars and stuff, and he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with the stuff he had, and he said the more stuff he had was the less happier he was. I mean, this is gutsy. This is something that has stuck by me, and so what he did is he sold maybe his company that he owned or worked for or something like that, right? Got rid of that, moved into a tiny flat, got rid of his car, and uses a bike. And I believe he's I don't know, he works in a grocery shop or something like that. And he said he's the most happiest he's ever been in his life. And this was a guy that, was making money. So think of that as you will. Now, we go through education and we get taught maths. I mean, it's all changed. Every year somebody gets through school and the whole system changes from one generation to the next. But basically, to learn maths, English, science, geography, history, biology and woodwork and computing, even though there wasn't really much computing when I went to school. And the list is endless. I mean, I look at schoolwork now and I see subjects I can't identify with. But the one thing it doesn't teach you in school is money. It doesn't teach you how to make money. It doesn't teach you how to get money. The only thing it might, when you leave school, most of the subjects you have really, if you're lucky, even if they're good, even if they're the best results from school, university, college, and whatnot, even though you've paid money into colleges and universities to get a piece of paper, that still doesn't promise you, a good job at the end of it and a good wage. And what does is experience, but of course, how do you get experience without giving a foot in the door, without getting the job? There's an old saying around where I came from, study hard, work hard, get all the qualifications, and if you're lucky, you can become a bus conductor. But again, that's no shame on being a bus conductor, and to be honest, there is no shame in any job that you do in life, as long as you take pride in it, so to speak. But there are those people out there that somehow, through their own decisions, through their knowledge of how markets work and the housing economy and all the rigmaroles that you normally hire a solicitor for and pay them money to make you money, so they can get half of the money that you've just given them. But there are these people that somehow money just flies to them because, there's guys all over the internet with some sort of ladder to success, and there's people that are that somehow know how to buy one house, do it up, and make a lot more profit onto it, or there's somebody that knows about shares, when to invest, when not to, what to put money in, take risks and gambles and invest, start your own businesses that are going to be. There are some people, as I say, that's out there making money. But does that make them more intelligent than you? No. You may have left school and you may have got all those qualifications. But then you can take somebody that was probably a hitman for the mob or something. Not as much as that, but you could take somebody that didn't do well in school. And really, school can really torment you for the rest of your life. Your experiences in school. I've heard so many people that said that they learnt more once they left school than they did when they were ever in it. Because you're dealing with all these hormones and everything else, and they're trying to teach you structure, and they teach you, and the way they teach you is boring. You're falling asleep in the school and everything else, and they don't have time. Classes are full. A lot of classes, because of money, they can't afford to have smaller classes and more teachers. And so now, but as I say, because of what life has thrown me, I'm okay, even though I went through life thinking, not really worth much, me, I'm not really bright, I'm not clever, but somehow I've managed to, through my work ethics, done okay. So what is school teaching you that is useful once you leave? And it's absolutely nothing. There's nothing. Now, I'm not saying don't stick in at school. I say go to school, get those qualifications, but don't stress about your results. As long as you've still got a good head for and your attendance to try to get a job, that's worth more than somebody who wants it handed over to them on a plate and say, here's the paperwork, you're going straight to the top right away. You don't need experience, you don't need this. That's why you start off as an office person, an office clerk or receptionist, and then you work your way up. Because you've got that experience, you've got that drive. And that's probably nothing that you learned in school. But what some people do have is that drive to make money. It's what drives them. And it doesn't necessarily, but for those people that have that ability to make money, does that make them a better person? No. Does me having a home make me a better man than the man on the street? asking for some change. No, life is complicated, life is cruel. Something just wasn't working when he was there, or something, or an idea of, or maybe it was a successful businessman that just crumbled. Because the higher and the more money you have, the more untouched by people and circumstances they are. You have Hollywood actors or stars or rich people pretending to, to care for society and the charities, people that have got billions. They could solve world's problems. But no, they don't put most of them. And I'm not saying they're all the same. There are some rich people that probably put money just to show face, so to promote, and by doing that, they can make money from it in some sort of publicity way. No, for me, the better man, woman, whatever, is the person that is content with their lives, willing to do the best that they can, somebody that's in touch with other people around the working class that can relate to them, people that are not so out of touch and what work is. I mean, you move into areas and you have people in your area that think they are above you, that think that their house is nicer, that you should keep up the appearance of that certain class system, and that's the thing that kills us, is the class system, from working class, middle class, upper class, whatever. You have the lower class that are fighting easy, so of the earth and everything else. And then you got the middle class, which is alright, but they would probably not bother hanging around with the lower class, Then you got the middle class, upper class wannabes. And they're right. Okay, there. And they believe that the world owes them, are living, and that they'll look down on you and stuff. But then you have the upper class, people that somehow born into money, and for some reason, they haven't. They can be so down to earth and more forgiving than the middle class. But this is it. It's the middle class struggle to be the upper class. It's people that forget where they came from. It's money just really makes you, it turns you and it changes you. And we look at celebrities now that are, that have got a lot of money, but they're unhappy. Fly aeroplanes and stuff like that, but they turn to Scientology. And if you ever look into Scientology, it's a system where it kind of puts you down in a way, makes you look at yourself. And they believe. I don't want to go into that, but I think the smartest person in the room was that guy I mentioned earlier, who had everything. Decided one day he wasn't happy. Money is just more problems, and he probably got to the point where he wasn't happy unless he was making more money. Then he looked at himself in the mirror and thought, I'm a middle class, upper class, and I don't want to be that anymore. If I'm upper class, then people will just think I'm somehow better than anybody, and I'm not. And it worries me what people think. No, what I'd rather be is just happy and content, and have less worry and less stress in my life. So I'd rather just sell this and do something which I can go and do this mundane job that society is forcing us to do every day of the week, and live, work there until we die, and somehow bosses, the upper management that's making more money, they'll live for that job, and went, no, that is not life. So no, I respect the people that have, and I hope to inspire to be that like them too, where the littlest things you've got can keep you contented. They're the smartest people. They are the smartest people on the earth. And as I say, that guy must have went through schools and colleges and everything else, became smart, but he's now working as a job that the lower class would get. And as I said, I've been in company with people that I don't like to say low class, the working class. People that are so down to earth. They, life must be a struggle, but I believe they're no happier than the rich. And so, don't worry about your school education. Don't worry about what your friend has got, how much money you're making compared to somebody else. Just take a look at what you do have. And to be honest, most of these people that have a lot of money, that went through schools and everything, and I do know people that went through a lot of stress going to uni, and they're still paying back the debts. I often wonder, and it's the stress that they went through all those years, but then I know somebody else who didn't want to go through that stress and just got a job, a manual job, just to get out, just to start making money. And it's not like you don't need ambition to go up the ladder. There are some people that just like their job, even though they have the abilities to make more money, but they stay at that job because they can go home stress-free. To me, that's the smartest person in the room. Now, thanks for listening. That's all I'm going to say. If you feel like commenting or liking or sharing, let me know. Maybe you have a story yourself. Thank you.